Welcome back to The Hideout. This is not our second time recording this podcast. Keyword is not, but just in case you didn't know, my name is Neco, aka Prince Productions.
My name is Kevin Lopez, and I thought it was Monday, and I'm not here.
And I'm Christian APS, and I will never think today's Monday if it's a Thursday. And one day, the entertainment will be gone. Or something like that.
Gone. And of course, this is a show where we talk about film and TV news every single week. This week, we are talking about Deadpool. We are talking about Captain America, Brave New World. We are talking about Thunderbolts. We are talking about Wolverine, not just Deadpool. We are talking about Superman. We are talking about Star Wars. It's a lot of Marvel, a lot of Disney. And as you can tell, Kevin is not here because he, in fact, forgot that today was podcast day. Yeah, like he thought today was Monday. It's not Monday. Well, by the time you're listening to this, it would have been
already
past
been
Monday.
Monday.
We record this.
Yeah.
It would have already been Monday. We record these Thursday nights, just to let you know. So Kevin's a little off, if you couldn't tell. Now, why is Kevin not here? Besides the fact that he thought it was Monday or whatever, he's just driving, and we just give him a call, and we're like, "Hey, Kevin, it's podcast day. Where you at?" And he's like, "Oh, I forgot." And he said he would be back home by 11:30. Why so late? Who knows? Maybe he's got a date. What do you think?
We don't even know. Yeah, we don't even know where he's at. And if he's not back home by 11:30, my mama mo's gonna kick in. I'm gonna have to call the PD.
Oh, you don't want to see Christian's mama for his ass. It's not a good sign. Oh, but speaking of calling the police, Deadpool Wolverine. That's my segue. Deadpool Wolverine is a movie. We've actually talked about it last week, and Christian, being the biggest Deadpool fan, was not here for that. Yeah, suck it. It's good, but as of this weekend, right?
You know what I just realized?
We are currently on this.
The reason why I wasn't here recording the podcast was because I was watching the movie. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. It was last Thursday.
You were watching the movie.
I was watching the movie.
Oh my god, this guy.
Because I got my tickets at.
Well,
because I'm a silly goose. Luckily
for you, so is everybody else, because it's currently grossed $310 million international.
I saw it that many times.
And with a domestic box office of $280 million, that makes its total worldwide box office, I don't know why I said number, $590 million, making it the highest grossing R-rated film for an opening weekend.
590?
Wow. 590.
God damn, boy. I really hope it makes $1 billion.
At this rate, it probably will. I mean, it had the 6th biggest opening day of all time.
Damn.
Biggest R-rated opening day, like I said. And they've already included them into Disneyland.
Oh, yeah, I've seen the videos.
They're actually pretty good. Yeah. I can't lie.
They're actually making sexual jokes. I'm shocked.
Oh, my gosh.
At Disney?
To the children. Think about the children.
Dude, have you been to Avengers Campus?
Hell no.
Dude, it's so lame. I was so disappointed when I went there.
Well, maybe you should go back to talk to fake Deadpool.
Yeah. Smack his ass a little bit.
But yeah, it's a good film. Obviously, Christian, since you weren't here last week, would you like to talk about a little bit about your thoughts on the movie?
I loved it. I know a lot of people are like, I think even Neco, you think it was just like, okay, right? You're like, yeah, it's fine.
I thought it was good. I have a fear of how this film will go in the future, but I'll say it after you give your thoughts.
Honestly, I do agree with you on that. Like, I don't know if the movie's gonna like age well, but I have seen it twice now. I've seen it twice, and I loved it just as much on my second viewing. So honestly, I really loved the emotion in the movie. It was like very surprisingly thematically rich. I mean, I really see the entire movie as like an allegory for the Fox and Disney merger, among like other things. So I actually think the movie's pretty smart, and like the themes that it touches upon. And then it also, I think it has the most universally appealing theme out of any of the Deadpool movies, which is just like wanting to matter and not let your your mistakes define you. And I think the emotional backbone of the movie is really good and really strong. Cassandra Nova is a one-note character. There's no way of going. There's no there's nothing else to really say. But the actress that plays her, like, she did such a great job that, like, yeah, she's one note, like, the character's one note, but honestly, who gives a shit? Like because the performance is really good. The cameos were more than just cameos. They were like actually a part of the story. They were important to the narrative. I mean, it wasn't Multiverse of a movie I love. It's not like Multiverse of Madness where, oh yeah, Illuminati. And the cameos in that, let's be for real, the cameos in that movie are lame as fuck. Besides Mr. Fantastic and Charles. So like, but like in this movie, like all the cameos are fucking good. I think it's some of the best action that Marvel's had in a long ass time. Like, and this is the first MCU movie in God knows how long that actually felt like a movie. And what I mean by that is, like, you could tell that they were outside filming. They were making actual sets. There was like an actual tangibility to what I was looking at. It didn't just feel like everything was in front of a green screen. Like it really just felt like an actual film, like just a movie being made. Like not just like poor VFX artists having to basically make like 80% of the movie.
Hello.
But you can't,
Cristiano.
You can't hear me? Here, let me come back.
No.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yeah, say something? Say a full sentence. Okay, I can hear you now. Sorry, Justin, you're going to have to do some work. Technical difficulties. Cut that little bit out.
Okay, at least you don't have to do the first.
I know. At least you didn't have to.
But yeah, honestly, I really loved the movie. And I don't... I said this in like my review for it, like, or my video essay for it or whatever. It did not... Even though I loved it, and I would literally give it like a 9 out of 10, like honestly... It does not save the MCU. And it's like, I was getting really annoyed. Well, not just with this movie, but a lot of the movies that have come out where people are all like, the MCU's finally going to be saved if this movie's good. Nah. It doesn't take one project to save it. Yeah,
but that's like to be expected. Like, this film is more than anything, it's MCU adjacent just because of the way it's told, And honestly, though, I think I said it in like the first video I made about it. About the movie a few months ago, and it's like, I didn't think it would save the MCU, but if it was very negatively received, I think it would have like really been like more detrimental to it being a failure than it being a positive thing. But like, look at the box office already. Like, it's already made what, almost triple what the Marvels made. It's already surpassed Ant-Man Quantumania in 1 week. Like, its entire Quantumania was out for like a month and a half. It already surpassed like its entire box office by it's at 600 million almost, like 10 million by tomorrow. It's probably gonna be at 600, right? So, this is a big deal. And also, like, it's not even just for the MCU. It's just Hollywood as a whole. Like, no movies have been making money for like the past 3 or 2 years. Besides Inside Out somehow. Yeah, I agree.
Well, no marketing, that movie made like $1 billion. I'm not even shitting all that movie. I'm just shocked that like a movie with like basically no marketing made as much as it did. But, yay, Deadpool and Wolverine. But hell yeah, brother.
Christian, you're cutting out again.
Boy, you cut it up. Here, you move on to the next topic, and I'm going to switch to my Wi-Fi. And take it away.
Okay. So moving on to the next topic, right? Obviously, San Diego Comic-Con happened this past weekend. But one thing that also did happen is that we finally got our first look at Squid Game Season 2, which will officially be releasing on December 26, 2024, and Squid Game Season 3 news, which will release in 2025, most likely December, and will be the final season of Squid Game. Oh, Christian's favorite show of all time.
Guess who's not going to watch any of that?
Oh, I will most likely be watching it. I remember watching. You know what? I can gatekeep Squid Game because I was watching season 1 literally the day before anybody else watched it. I saw it. I said, "Hey, that looks interesting. I'm gonna check it out." And then bam, binged it. Next day it blows up. Yeah, I'm probably gonna watch it. Main actor, he was recently in Star Wars Acolyte. I enjoyed him in that as much as the show sucked. I'm excited to see him again and what he does with his career and how he continues to grow as an actor. I don't know how they're gonna handle Squid Game season 2 though, because obviously the whole novelty with the first season is kind of gone, so you have to change it. Now, this trailer itself is a little bit odd. I don't know. There's not... So if I remember correctly, the first one ends off with him, like, going to America. And in this trailer, we're seeing competitors racing in, like, a racetrack. Kind of like a track and field type thing.
Huh.
So maybe it takes place in the U.S.? Perhaps? Yeah. It'll be interesting to see.
I feel like they announced season 2 like 3 years ago.
Dude, they announced season 2 when season 1 finished airing, but for some reason it's taken them this long. It's been like 4 years.
Damn.
I know, it's been a while. I don't know what Netflix is doing. Isn't like Squid Game supposed to be like their biggest show of all time? What happened?
I'm still never gonna watch it.
Yeah. This guy. But yeah, moving on from that, let's see what else we got. Speaking of renewing shows, Charlie Cox has reportedly revealed that Daredevil Born Again Season 2 will begin filming soon. Where's Season 1?
Yeah,
they haven't even
1?
released it yet. What if Season 1 sucks? I mean, I don't want it to suck.
I don't want
wants
it to suck. I just want it to be good. Please, for the love of Christ.
I know. I did hear John Bernthal was I don't know which Punisher actor, but he was training with one of the former Punisher actors for the role. I know, this fool committed.
Dang, how much? There was Thomas Jane. Dolph Lundgren was one of them, right?
Yes.
It's like all I can remember.
Let me see. John. I just looked up John Punisher. It's not his name. John Punisher.
The Johnisher.
The Johnisher. Let me see. Who did he train with? News. Oh, come on. Just giving me basic variety articles. I don't want that. I don't know. He trained with one of the actors. That's all I know.
Dope.
Oh, Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane.
Wait, yeah. Thomas Jane? Is that who I'm...
I don't think I've ever seen any of those old Punisher movies. Which is kind of shocking, because I'm a huge Punisher fan.
Yeah, you should probably watch the 2004 one. That's who he trained with, Thomas Jane, who's starting that. I've been curious about... I've heard some of them are really bad, and some of them are so bad they're good, and then some of them are just alright. So, it's a lot of everything, really. You know? But yeah, moving on from that. This past weekend was actually San Diego Comic-Con. If you didn't know, Christian, just a little indie event. Nobody really hears about it nowadays.
That is actually true.
Honestly, I mean, this year people heard about it, because we're about to talk about some crazy shit that went down.
I mean, where do you want?
Where
do we start with? Downey, Secret Wars, Doomsday, or do we start with the goddamn arrest that happened there? Jesus Christ! Did you hear about that?
Let's start with the arrest. We'll save Downey for last, because that's the biggest one.
So I'm just chilling, right? I'm having a good time. I think I was just reading some Hellboy, trying to go to sleep, and then my girlfriend said she's like on the phone, because yes, we're one of those couples that sleep on the phone with each other. Is that a normal thing? I don't know. I don't think that's probably normal, but she was all like,
no, sometimes my girlfriend.
She was all like, she goes, dude. She doesn't sound like that, but that's what we're gonna go with. Dude, did you hear the shit that went down at Comic-Con, bro? Nah, what happened? They arrested a bunch of fucking sex traffickers. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I was just...
Yeah, dude.
What? So there's not that much like information though, and I read like a whole article, but they don't really have anything beyond. So half of it was people there actually trying to sell.
Oh my gosh.
Who the hell? So half of them are like people that were actually trying to sell people, and then the other half was people that were caught trying to buy and like a victim. I think one of the victims was like 14 or 16, somewhere around that. Horrendous, and it just sucks because it's like, to my knowledge, I don't think I've ever heard anything really happening at Comic-Con, like ever.
No, neither have I. This is I don't.
And it's disgusting because if you really think about it, the reason they targeted it is not only because it's a populated place where you can kind of easily, like, you know, take someone and get out of there. Everyone's wearing costumes there. And they were probably wearing costumes too. And the fact that they were probably dressed up as people that we love and cherish throughout our childhood, and they twisted it into something that dark and it's disgusting.
Pretty disgusting.
It just breaks my heart, because like that's a place where everyone kind of just comes together for a bit, like all the fandoms, they just kind of put their shit like it's just a place where you kind of escape from the real world, and you're just supposed to have a good time. You meet all the people, you know, all the celebrities, all the artists, all the writers, all the, you know, like everybody, and you just go there, you dress up, it's like Halloween, you know, you're out there trying to have a good time. And then just something like this dark happened. It's just really sad. It's to have happened in general, but like especially within the context of where it took place, you know. But
I mean, and it's like I said, I've never, at least not from my recollection, heard of this happening at Comic-Con, because Comic-Con is for the most part a pretty tame event. You know, it's just people dressing up in their favorite cosplay, whatever, and going around just meeting people, seeing what's coming up for and movie slates, right? And I remember Comic-Con honestly used to be a much bigger event. Like obviously today we're going to be talking a lot about Marvel specifically, but in general, Comic-Con used to be a place where they wouldn't even just reveal just Marvel movies. It would be like everything. You would see Star Wars, you would see DC, you know, anything. They would even reveal toys, shows, and it was things to be excited about. Like I remember, at least my favorite Comic-Con was the year that they revealed the Flash and like the whole DCEU slate, obviously before it got canned or whatever, because like they revealed like a bunch of stuff. There was stuff regarding like Civil War, DC, obviously there was a lot of Transformers stuff, and it was such a fun time because you wake up and you see all this news and you're like, wow, this is so fun. And you know, obviously we have some big news today, but it sucks that like nowadays Comic-Con is kind of diminished in that regard, because you wake up and you're like, oh, it's just Marvel being Marvel, right? Nothing.
It used to be that these announcements were made there, and it felt special.
You know, and it's and nowadays, and then you have stuff like this happening, which is just going to make people want to go even less and less, you know? Just the sad part. But I don't know. It sucks. Let's move on to something a little bit more uplifting, I suppose. Christian, what would you like to talk about next?
Let's talk about the Russos. Let's talk about the Russos.
Yeah, the Russos. They finally made their return. Obviously, this is kind of rumored, and I don't know, this is nothing new. I mean, they did say like years ago that they would come back to direct Secret Wars. Yeah. But it was a pretty big announcement at Comic-Con, and it was a very exciting one too. You know, they're coming back not only for Secret Wars, but they're also directing Avengers Doomsday May 2026 and Secret Wars 2027.
I wonder what Doomsday would be about. I loved it. I mean, I said it like when we were talking about it being rumored a few weeks ago. I was very happy with it actually being like confirmed with Variety the other day, and then like Marvel officially bringing them out. So it was obviously with Marvel anything can change. Well, just in Hollywood in general, anything can change. Like they can literally be halfway through shooting and then they can get fired or quit or whatever, right? But it pretty much seems like this is like it. Like we're actually gonna have them do it. We're not going through 1,000 different directors. One of the writers, I think, McFeely's coming back out of the there's Marcus McFeely and then, oh my god, I always forget the other one. But
oh my gosh, Steven something.
Yeah, no, I think it is Steven something. But yeah, I like so at least one of them's coming back. And like all of that just sounded so good. Doctor Doom being the main villain, on paper at least before the announcement of what happened next, sounded just fucking incredible. Just everything just about just the Russos coming back with the other half of their writing team. Just it made me so happy. Like I don't care if it's a safe bet. Honestly, that's kind of just kind of what they need.
I think but it's like the right choice.
It's the right
think
choice,
about it.
yeah.
They're really good. They're really good at handling a multitude of characters. They showed it in Winter Soldier, in Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. So why not bring them back? Like they are the choice. Also, they're just big fans. Yeah. And so what if their movies outside of Marvel haven't been the best?
Yeah.
You know, that's not Marvel's problem.
Yeah, that's true. And like they probably need this just as much as Marvel needs a win themselves. So it's like a win-win for both of them. Like if Marvel sticks the landing with this, you know, that's great for Marvel, and then they can just be done with this fucking multiverse saga and go back to telling actual stories. And if this works,
I think the multiverse saga is done. I think they're done with the multiverse saga. It seems like.
Well, I think they're done with it once they do like Secret Wars, and then they can kind of just because they got to follow through till then. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean,
true.
It's just absurd. I know we've talked about this before, how like go on Disney Plus right now. Look at the multiverse saga, and I think there's only like 5 multiverse projects. Like there's been like 30 something projects I think within the past few years, or 20 something. I don't know. It's been a lot, but almost none of them are about the multiverse. Like only like 5 projects are.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So like the.
But hey,
I don't know.
They'll do justice to this. Yeah. They really will. I know they've got a good team behind them. It's a good creative team, and it'll be good. But a couple films that aren't you know what? No, fuck it. I'm just gonna go. I was gonna segue into like
beat around the bush. Let's just go for it. Let's just go for it.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just go for it. RDJ is Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
If you didn't, okay. So I remember, right? It was Saturday night. I was sitting at a Peruvian restaurant with my girlfriend. You know, we're just talking. We're having a good time.
Does she sound like?
And she pulls out her phone. Yeah. So my girlfriend's like, "Yo, dude. Oh, dude. No fucking way. You won't believe this, man. You won't believe what I've just seen. I go on Twitter. This is what she's telling me. Look at this, bruvs." And then she shows me. What does she show me? She shows me a picture of Robert Downey Jr. wearing green. And what's on his face? What's on his face, Christian? What is he wearing on his face?
He's wearing a Doctor Doom man.
Oh my god. And I'm thinking, nah, this is fake. Bro, this is like, you know, because I heard this rumor a couple days leading up to San Diego Comic Con. I was like, this is fake. It's fake, you know? So I was like, oh, this is a cool edit, right? No, she scrolls again. It's there. And I'm like, no, dude. They fucking did it. I remember the guy had just brought us our food, right? And I didn't eat for like maybe like 2 minutes. I was just thinking, I was like, man, this is real. This happened. What was it like for you?
It was almost a similar thing, because I heard the rumors a few days beforehand, and just like you, I was like, that is the biggest heap of bullshit I've ever like seen. I was like, that was like you know how like back, like it still happens now, but remember when we were like in middle school, and like almost like now as we've gotten, like the scoopers have like been around longer, there's more accuracy, but when we were kids and scoopers were scooping things, it was like 99.9% of it was wrong. Now it's more like 50, maybe 60% right. It used to be like 99.9% was just all of it was wrong, and this would be one of those outrageous things we would hear like 8 years ago and just be like, oh my god, and then we would talk about it and we would believe it because we're fucking 11 years old. So I heard it and I was like, that's too stupid to be true. Obviously it's not. It's not.
It reminded me of those old leaks. Like it's like so out there.
And I was just like, nah, this isn't happening. I was like, sure, man, sure. And then I wake up in the morning, and no, it was in the afternoon. It was in the afternoon. Mind you, I'm on a high from Deadpool. I'm like, and now I'm seeing like on Instagram, Rotten Tomatoes is like keeping everyone posted live on what's happening. Fantastic Four this. Oh, that's really cool. Thunderbolts, I don't give a shit. Brave New World, I really don't give a shit. All right, that trailer was horrible. I just completely killed any.
Yeah, we'll get
for that, but
we'll get to Brave New World as well, Stu.
But then the Russo brothers are directing Doomsday, and I'm like, oh shit. And they're directing Secret Wars. Ooh.
Yeah.
My ass clenched. My pupils dilated. Sweat started pouring out of every crevice of my body. I went into cold shakes, and not in a good way. And I was like, what the fuck? It happened, you know? And I literally kind of had a similar experience where I just sat down. I was just like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, this is the most desperate thing. And then obviously everyone's mind first goes to, okay, well, this isn't Doom. This is a Tony Stark variant, right? Because that's the only thing that would make sense. But here's the thing. The Russos, it was like a day after, the day of, I don't know, but they posted on Instagram about the thing, and no one's talking about this at all because everyone's still debating on whether he's Victor Von Doom or a Tony Stark variant. You
tell me this because I haven't even heard about this.
Okay, so on the post that they made on Instagram, they say he's playing Victor Von Doom. Okay. So he is playing Victor Von Doom. So
yes.
It's like a catch-22 because here's the thing: we have two sides, right? He's playing Victor, right? Cool. Or he's playing an evil Tony Stark variant that becomes Doctor Strange. And yes, I know it's from the comics, but newsflash, people, mind you, everyone that says that shit, like 9 out of 10 times, someone says, "Well, it happened in the comics." They've never fucking read a comic in their life, so shut the fuck up. And second of all, just because it happened in the comic, and it doesn't mean it's good. I'm a hardcore comic book fan. I've read my fair share of garbage comics. Like, it's not... It doesn't guarantee that it's a good thing just because it happened in the comics. Now I understand that it has a sense of validity, whatever the fuck, for a studio to be like, oh, well, it happened, so we can do it. Right? I get that, but it still doesn't mean it's good. So I'm sick and tired of hearing this. Well, this happened in the yeah. Well, if Spider-Man gets bent over, butt fucked by the ghost of Ben Parker, and you're gonna and then now you see that in a movie, you're just gonna be like, well, it happened in the comics. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen. No, you don't understand the intellectual, emotional, thematic richness that was going on in that scene. It stems back from when Stan Lee first created the character. No, it's dog shit. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see Peter get butt fucked by Ben. So. Maybe Ben Grimm, but like, so to get back on track. If he is a doctor, if he is a Tony variant, it's stupid and complicated, and you don't want to see that. I mean, is there definitely room for an emotional, deep story of a Tony Stark going evil and everyone has to take him down? Yes. Then don't make him Doctor Doom. Just make him just make him Tony Stark, right? But
it's not.
It's not. But then let's just say it is what it seems like it is. He is playing Victor Von Doom. Give it to another actor. Why are you giving it to someone that's so synonymous?
Yeah, I mean, obviously
with Iron Man.
Obviously, everybody wanted Cillian Murphy, but I think the choice in this for this to happen was that. They obviously know that the current state of the MCU is a little bit iffy, right? And so they wanted somebody to have like a pull for the fans, you know, somebody to be like, hey, let's get seats back into this, let's get fans here, and that's why they brought in the OG himself, RDJ, right? And it's I get what you're saying. I mean, honestly, you know, everybody wanted Cillian Murphy. Cillian Murphy was not going to sign on for like 10 years or whatever they're going to use Doom for. They could have found a young, like, I would have appreciated if it was just not even a nobody, just, you know, a fresh actor, right? See somebody who, because this is, I don't know, I'm very conflicted on this, because, okay, now that you've said the Victor Von Doom stuff, right, it gives me a little bit more hope, because I know people are like saying that it could be an Iron Man variant. I don't want this because fundamentally speaking, Victor Von Doom and Tony Stark are very different characters, right? Victor Von Doom is obviously all about his people, his nation, right? And his ambitions and goals are very different than Tony, and he's a very complex character in his own right. Yeah. And RDJ is obviously an amazing actor. I just wish we had somebody else to play that like more authentic version of Victor Von Doom, especially in terms of like of his heritage and what he represents to his people. And I think that would have been such an interesting thing that I don't think, I mean, RDJ will do it, and if anything, right, in my head, I think they're going to just do prosthetics. I mean, at the same time, you want to show that it's Robert Downey Jr., but I think they're still going to do prosthetics to make it just look enough like it could be a different person, right?
Yeah, and see, that's the problem. There's too much. This entire situation, there's too much going on. And like okay, like we take that for example, right? And there's like 1,000 different thoughts going in my head, but let's start with that, right? You want to show that it's RDJ because, well, we'll get into that in the next thing I'll talk about, but they want RDJ because they're spending a lot of money, right? What is the one fucking thing that has always defined Doctor Doom as a character? His fucking face is mask. Hidden. Yep. Like that's what I'm saying. So like all he would have to, okay, you're on the set, you're recording it, you have this big ass mask, the lines get muffled. He's going to have to ADR everything again. So if you want to do Doctor Doom right, you're not going to be showing him like at all. And even if you do prosthetics and you make his face all fucked up, it better be for like one scene because he gets his ass kicked.
Yeah, of course.
And the mask falls off.
You don't want to show his face the whole time. Yeah, you don't want to show his face the whole movie.
It just defeats the purpose of like his van. Like, okay, obviously Tony has his ego and like a bit of vanity, but like to Doom, it's like a next level degree of vanity. Like that's why he wears the fucking costume. There's a lot of reasons why. But that has always been the most consistent thing with the character and has always defined the character. So now let's get to the next thing. Now that we're on, they want RDJ, they're probably going to want to show his face. Have you heard? I was hearing from. I
know what you're going with. The evil Avengers.
Well, not just the evil Avengers. That's a whole other thing that could be interesting. Yeah. But,
okay.
But I heard that he could make possibly up to $100 million per film.
Okay, that's the point you want to talk about. Yeah, so the last movie RDJ was in was Endgame, and he made about $80 million,
which is insane.
Yeah, I heard that's nuts. I heard this too. Yeah, he could make up to $100 million, but it's not even just him. On top of him making that much money, you got to take into account the fact that there's going to be a lot of other actors who are not cheap, who are going to maybe not want as much money as him, but are going to be up there. On top of that, the Russo brothers are also getting a hefty amount for coming back. So where what's the movie going to be?
'Cause like that can't be okay. Most of the time, the actor's salary is taken from the budget, right? Like all these things, like the actors, the director, all this stuff is usually taken out of the budget of the film. The studio rarely ever writes the check themselves and goes, yeah, here's this, and then go star in this movie. It's always taken out of the budget for the most part. And then you make the back end residuals and the blah 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 and the other stuff, right? But like the initial sign on is usually a part of the budget.
Of course.
That is the budget of an entire fucking movie.
Yeah.
That is literally the fucking budget of, I think, like Shazam or something. You can make a movie with that. Like a very good movie with that budget. The Russos are getting 80 million. I think it's 40 million each, so they're getting 80 million. That's already $180 million. And mind you, the $100 million is a big fat fucking asterisk. Because from what I've heard, is he's probably gonna get offered like 85 million, but through back end residuals, it caps at 100 million. So he can't make more than that off back end, ticket sales, merchandise, blah 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 blah, the works, right? So it caps at 100 million. And let's be fucking honest, there's a high chance that it could.
Yep.
So let's just say it is 80 million. So, that's still like what, 100 and like 60? I don't know. Like that's still a lot of fucking money.
I know. And it's where does that leave? Okay, especially VFX, right? Uh-huh. That's obviously the biggest issue we've had for the last couple of years with these movies is VFX is getting underpaid. VFX sucks, but it's it's the way they treat them and all that. So then what happens to those people? Because realistically, they should also be getting paid $80 million.
They're making the movies. It's not like they're enhancing it. They are it literally just become VFX the fucking movie. Like these movies are cartoons now. The animators are making everything from start to finish.
So then, how much is left for them?
And that's my point. Like this is why the strikes happen. Now, like I'm not trying to hate on RDJ, fucking legend. I hope to work with him someday. Guy's incredible.
Of course, I mean, RDJ is doing his thing, right? At the end of the day, he's both an actor and a businessman.
Yeah,
right?
Like I'm not hating on him making that money. Good for him. Like fucking hell.
And of course, he's obviously gonna kill it in terms of being Dr. Doom. I don't think he's gonna come into this and be like, well, this is another walk in the park. He even said he wants to play a complex character, and so he's getting the chance again. But it's in terms of it's I mean, it's obviously it's a dual-edged sword. At the same time, this is good news, right? Oh, RDJ's back. The Russos are back. New Avengers slate, right? There's obviously gonna be a lot of logistical things that we're not gonna see until these movies come out because they're so unpredictable, right? But let's move on. Let's move on from that. Obviously, on top of Avengers being announced at San Diego Comic-Con, excuse me, we've also gotten some stuff regarding Captain America: Brave New World. Obviously, Harrison Ford is Harrison Ford. He came out on stage and he did his best Red Hulk yell, and he is having the time of his life. But more importantly, we've got some stuff regarding the movie. There was some leaked footage. Apparently, adamantium will be introduced into the MCU via the Celestial being made out of it. Nothing new there. Pretty predictable stuff. But Giancarlo Esposito will play Sidewinder, who is the king of the Serpent Society in this movie. What do you think about that? Because that's the big news.
That's a fucking waste. Like, I'm so pissed off about that. Like, what a fucking waste. Like, honestly, like, bro, Magneto, Charles, like the amount of things he could have been. Like, I've really warmed up to the idea of him being Charles, and I'm like now that I've thought about it a lot over the past year, like he would have been an incredible. I still think he would have been like a way better Magneto, but honestly, him being a Charles. That'd be really good. Just the amount of very significant roles he could have played, and he's playing the fucking leader of the Serpent Society. Like, I get it. I get that the Serpent Society is like. Let me tell you a bunch of a nerd I am. I have the first appearance of the Serpent Society in comics. Like, I get it. I understand how big of a deal they are and within the Captain America mythos, but.
Come on, man.
I know. Yeah, I know. Like, really, this guy, like you're gonna waste a Giancarlo for this? Like, it's not like only hardcore fans are really gonna be like, yes, the Serpent Society. They're not gonna fucking translate well to the fucking screen, dude. Are you kidding me? Like, no. Absolutely not. Like, they're just gonna be goofy as fuck.
Okay. My issue with this, right? Obviously, on top of the fact that I wish Giancarlo could have played, like you said, Charles, or even at this point Magneto, because guess what? Sidewinder, he's a fucking villain again. This is the one thing. This is why I wanted him to not be Magneto, because obviously I think he would be beautiful as him, but I wanted him to play a good guy because all he does is play bad guys.
Yeah.
And what did they do? They cast him as a bad guy.
If I ever get to work with him someday, I'll make him a good guy. I promise you that, Giancarlo. I promise you that. Oh,
you're gonna be a good guy, man.
You're gonna be a good guy.
And I don't know. Okay. Honestly, I'm not too mad at this. My only thing, and this is what kind of worries me, is that okay, he's the king of the Serpent Society. That's another thing they're adding to Captain America: Brave New World. So we've got, and when I heard this, the first thing I thought of was, Amazing Spider-Man 2, right? Fundamentally failed because it had too much going on in the film, right?
Uh-huh.
If you look at Captain America: Brave New World now, we've got, Ross is getting assassinated, right?
Yeah.
Attempted assassination. Him turning into the Red Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously,
he's becoming president.
He's becoming president. Sam has to deal with his role as Captain America. Isaiah Bradley, I guess that ties into the assassination, but whatever. Then we've got the leader, right? Then you've got the other Falcon. Then you've got the adamantium and the celestial being stuff. Now you've got Serpent Society.
That is a lot.
Oh, and then don't forget, there's a lot of other characters in this movie that still haven't been revealed. There's what's her face who's got pink or red hair. I can't remember her name. She was leaked on a McDonald's toy. The point is, this film has so much in it, and this is not what I expected. I mean, if he was playing the Shield agent, whatever, right? It sucks, but I guess it ties into the film. But now it's just another faction that they're adding, and it's just a whole lot of I don't know. Dude, you get what I'm getting at? It's
just I don't see how you can do that in even a 2.5 hour long movie. Like that is just absurd. Like, and the only way I can see it slightly working is we pretty much know the plot of the movie is all these world leaders are trying to fight over control of Tiamat for resources. And that's the only way I can kind of see this, like, having that many characters or that many, like, plot lines work. Because at the end of the day, if all of them are going for the same goal, then all the plot lines are technically one, in a way. But I just have a feeling that's not what's happening.
Okay, but here's the interesting thing. Okay, you made a great point, right? What if it's a thing of, like, all these characters are just ganging up on one single entity, right? Mm-hmm. Tiamat, like you said. Thank you for reminding me about his name. I totally forgot about it. But that ties into the next story that we have today, which is Thunderbolts, because that's essentially the plot of Thunderbolts. That all these characters, right? All these different factions, right? Bucky, Yelena, Red Guardian, U.S. Agent, Ghost, whatever, right? Are all assigned to the same job of killing Sentry, who is this very powerful being, just like Tiamat. And then they must all gang up together and they form the Thunderbolts. Are these two not just gonna... If that's the case, are they not just the same movie? You get what I mean? And I think Thunderbolts, fundamentally speaking, works better with this plot line, because that's not really what Captain America should be. And I guess, you know what? I guess we'll segue this into Thunderbolts. I mean, what did you think about that stuff?
I don't care about... I haven't cared about it since they announced it. And, like, what's weird is, okay, Marvel came out and was all like, okay, Thunderbolts has nothing to do with Thunderbolt Ross. And I'm like, what? Okay, because the thing is, they were literally, they're made by him. It's a task force he created. Mm-hmm. It's named after him, you know? Like, his nickname's Thunderbolt Ross, right? I mean, because it's like his first name's Thaddeus, right? Weird ass. But he, it's his team. It's literally named after him. So what are you talking about? It has no relation to him. Like, what? Like, it's just weird. So, because, like, I expect him to be in the movie, you know? Like, they didn't just hire...
But I don't think he will. I don't think he will, though.
That's ridiculous.
So then why are they called Thunderbolts?
Also the asterisks. I don't know. That just seems stupid.
I don't know. The asterisks I have no idea about. I don't even want to touch on that because I have no idea.
It just seems like a
But
marketing.
I don't know.
gimmick.
Okay. I mean, to play devil's advocate, I will say I think David Harbour showing up in costume was pretty fun.
Yeah.
And I was watching a couple of interviews of John White, David Harbour, and Sebastian Stan, and they all seem to really be excited for this film. Like, you can tell that they're going out there and they're just gonna have fun in their roles, and that's what I appreciate about this film. As to the quality itself, that's another thing that we still obviously don't know because we haven't seen a trailer. I don't know. I don't think the plot is bad. I think it works, but it just kind of ties into what you said in that. Why is it called Thunderbolts? What is his relation to this random assortment of characters coming together, right?
And it just shows like how fucking disconnected, like, and like just a mess they are. Like, just like how do you do that? How do you have that character? Sorry, I just audio spiked that. How do you have that fucking character? Name it. What you did. Have that movie come out, and that, like, the Captain America movie come out right before you do this. Like, it just doesn't compute.
Right? It doesn't. Oh man, there was a lot going on. This San Diego was full of a lot of things. I will say one of the better surprises that I saw was the Fantastic Four news. So just to recap some of the stuff that's happening, basically there was some pre-shot footage of Fantastic Four new steps, first steps, that's what it's called, Fantastic Four First Steps. And it's obviously got that retro futuristic aesthetic. It takes place in an alternate version of this 1960s futuristic New York. Reed Richards is a science teacher. He wears a lot of light blue, a lot of whites. He's there with Sue and with the Thing, and Johnny's got his very classic Johnny hair combed up, nice and clean. We've also gotten like this image of the Thing where he's on a dating show. Hey, they gave him the big eyebrow. They gave him the big eyebrows, and we even have a shot of Galactus. Well, more specifically, his eyes. All of it was also in 4.3 aspect ratio, and there was a couple other smaller details, but that's mainly the main thing. Also, this film is coming out next year, July 25th. But what did you think about all that stuff?
I haven't seen any of the leaked stuff. I know there is some, but just from that description, I don't know. Like,
I will send you the leaked stuff because I'm actually pretty excited about this. Out of everything they announced, even including the Doctor Doom stuff, I'm really excited about this.
It just seems like,
because I'll tell you,
there still just seems like too much going on. So like, they're set in another universe. It's a period piece at the same time. They're skipping the origin story, which is fine.
yeah.
It seems like if Downey's really playing Victor, even if he is playing a Tony Stark variant, wouldn't you think the best place to set up that character would be in Fantastic Four? Which I wouldn't be surprised if they just say no and they're like, oh, we'll just set it up in Doomsday, we'll set it up wherever. But let's just say they do, because realistically, you know. But then Galactus and all of that, like, I don't know.
So Matt Shackman, they asked him obviously about Doctor Doom and Fantastic Four, and he just said no comment. So I'm thinking he is going to show up in this. Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna send you some of these leaks right now, so I can get your reaction to them. From my understanding, I think you're mostly right about some of these stuff. Like, yeah, they're gonna skip over the origin story. I probably trying to go through, collect these images. I don't want to leak them online. I'm not gonna do that. They're gonna skip over the origin story, and that's fine. And I don't mind it. I actually really like the time period.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I don't know precisely what the plot will be about. I do think, though, it will be a more refreshing movie, just simply because it's not set in the wider MCU as of right now.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm really looking forward to, is, you know, what it does. It's in its own world, and how it stands alone as a film, and what it can do just in its own right. You know what I mean?
I have a theory.
So if you look,
I'm gonna predict
what's your theory?
the ending of this movie. Galactus, like they trying to stop Galactus, but then he ends up, they end up losing, and then they have their world eaten, and they're like, let's just go to a different universe.
That's not far off. I don't actually mind it too.
Goodness.
I don't mind it. Here, I sent you some of the images. If you want to look at those really quick.
Yeah, let me just take a look at these.
In our little group chat. I am, like I said, in general though, I'm really, really, really excited for Fantastic Four. As a collective, I really like them more as a collective than I do as individual characters. Obviously, you ask any fan, who's your favorite character? Everybody's got one. Mm-hmm. But at least for me, they work better as a group. They've always been some of my favorite comic book characters. I obviously grew up with them, the animated show, mm-hmm. The movies, even Fantastic, which fucking sucked. They've always been a part of my life, and I'm really excited to see them come to life. And I think this is a great cast, and I think the setup is really good. I just want it to be so good. I want it to work and succeed as a movie and as a collective, because this is something that I know not just myself, but you and a bunch of everybody's been waiting for, right? These are characters that are so beloved by the community, by everybody too, just general audiences as well. And
do you think
I just wanted to succeed?
Now that I'm looking at the photos with the thing, is that practical?
Okay, I'm confused about that too, because I don't know. He looks too big to be practical. Unless they have parts of him be practical, parts not. I mean, realistically, he's not supposed to be all that tall. He's only like maybe what?
Like maybe 6 feet.
Like 6 something?
Yeah, he's like
right?
Human height. Even the Hulk is pretty small in the comics, to be honest. Or originally.
They did downsize him a little bit in Avengers. He's like 9 feet or something.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm wondering too. Do you think Eberron Moss wants to walk around in that for like 12 hours a day? I don't know.
I mean, like it's obviously it's possible. It doesn't because like with Fantastic, like they fucked the thing up, like visually. Like that dude was
he looks
huge and dumbass looking. He was naked too. Like the fuck.
Why was he naked? Why was he naked? They could if they do it practical, I will be amazed. Because I don't think that'll happen. But yeah, it's Fantastic Four. And I think that's about it in terms of San Diego Comic-Con. Almost. We've also gotten a first looks at John Watts' Skeleton Crew, which stars Jude Law as a Jedi. The series is inspired by the Goonies and takes place around the same time as The Mandalorian. Did you look at these images? And if so, what did you think?
I actually haven't. I mean, I did hear about it, but I didn't look at it.
Okay. Honestly, not much to see here. It's a cast of kid characters set in the Star Wars universe. How is Jude Law going to be a Jedi and he survived this whole time? Who knows? I don't know. I don't really want to talk too much about it because there's not really much to go over here. And I don't they're not too exciting. This is definitely going to be more of a kids show than it will be for older audiences. You can tell by the style and the quality of the show. It is very cutesy, very adorable. And that's if that's for kids, that's fine. It's what they're going for. But I don't know if this will be in our demographic. I'm still probably going to watch it though, just because
I'll check it. I don't know, because I've been skipping a lot of the Star Wars projects lately. I'm just waiting for Andor season 2. Ahsoka.
I think everybody's waiting for Andor season 2.
Ahsoka just put such a bad taste in my mouth, and then Acolyte didn't look that interesting, and then I was gonna watch like the first few episodes, but then everyone was like, "Oh, the show's ass," and then I was like, "Yeah, no, never mind." Mando season 3 was horrible. Yeah.
Hey, Lizzo and Jack Black. That's all I have to say about that.
Incredible and everything, though.
He's always good and everything. But moving on from that, I just want to go over this really quick before we talk about our last article. But the Army, the U.S. fucking Army, the military,
Hell yeah.
says they've made a $11 million promotional deal with The Rock and the UFL, which didn't lead to a single recruit. Instead, 38 recruits actually ended up delisting. Source: Military News. This is coming straight from Military News. I really just wanted to talk about that and before we moved on.
What the fuck does any of that mean?
Basically, they did the Army did a the Army has a lot of ads. If you go on YouTube,
too many goddamn
probably got an Army ad. They made an $11 million deal with The Rock, probably to do ads and stuff like that. Now, where did this money go? Because I have not seen a single thing. Apparently nowhere, because people didn't like it. The people just ended up leaving the Army. Seemingly. I don't know. I don't want to say too much on that. But we have made it to our final news of the week, and it is not a news. It is actually a review. Yes, just like last time we talked about Deadpool and Wolverine. This week, Christian has watched a little movie by the name of Longlegs.
And it actually is a little movie. I think it only had like a $5 million
it is
budget.
quite
Tiny.
Right? And it's only like an hour and a half too, right?
Yeah, it's only an hour and a half.
And if you haven't heard of Longlegs, yes you have, because it stars Nicolas Cage as a
Creepy
gross-looking
guy.
human being.
Yeah, he little
Creepy little J. Ooh, little freaky deek. Yeah, so on a budget of, you said $5 million, right?
I think so. Here, let me Google it. Let's be professional.
Let's do this. Well, it's currently sitting on an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it has already grossed $773 million.
Damn.
Yeah.
All it says is under 10 million.
Okay. Well, then it's already made its money back.
Yeah.
73 million. There you go.
Dude, almost at 100. I
without
hope
further
it makes
ado.
100.
I hope so too. And by the looks of it, it probably will. Just came out this past week, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what did you think of the movie?
I really liked it, but there were some glaring problems with it, to be honest. I would...
How so?
I would give it like an 8 out of 10, but the pacing was... Wow. The movie looks stunning. It's a beautiful looking film. God, I just had his name. Oswald, or... Hold on. Let me get the name so I can get it right. Osgood Perkins did an incredible job directing it. I mean, you definitely see that it's a fully realized vision, and the film looks stunning. Also, it's set in Oregon, and I love Oregon, so it was very creepy, very beautiful at the same time. And
classic Oregon.
Yeah, and Nicolas Cage obviously gave an awesome... I'm a huge Nick Cage fan. I watch like pretty much anything he does. So like he obviously was a standout in this movie, but I think the movie was very disturbing, very creepy, but I definitely think the internet so I was a little disappointed walking out, like, because I was like, oh, I only really got scared like once or twice, like genuinely scared, but I was like creeped out. I was like, oh, this is disturbing, this is icky, but like I wasn't like scared, and like, and like I don't know, like to like I watch a lot of horror movies, so like I'm like desensitized, I guess, to it. So like if like Neco watched it, he would probably be traumatized for life. But to me, I was just kind of. I think it's not the movie's fault, because the movie is very effective with its horror, because it's not really supposed to be a horror movie. It's supposed to be more of a thriller that has horror. I mean, it is like a horror movie, don't get me wrong, it is a horror movie, but like it's just not a traditional horror movie. So it's not constantly relying on trying to scare you every second. It's more about an atmosphere. It's more about making you feel uncomfortable. It's more about holding the tension than ever actually like giving you like a moment to like really like it is more about atmosphere building. So it's not the movie's fault. It's just the internet really overhyped how scary the movie was. And I wasn't the only one. I went with my girlfriend and her sister, and me and her sister were both on the same page. Like, it was a good movie. It was creepy, but it scared the shit out of me. But yeah, honestly, the only real problem I had with the movie was the pacing. It's like Well, that okay. Well, I'll get into I'll get a little bit more into that. But the other problem I had is it is way, way, way too. And we are getting to that point now with movies where it's just like movies are just derivative of like other movies. It's like it's just this movie, but we're doing it this way, and it really is just Silence of the Lambs, like way too much to a T. Like not even to the point of like inspiration, like kind of beat for beat. Like, especially when you get to like the ending of the movie, even though it's a very good, I don't even know if twist is it's a twist. There's a twist involved, and it kind of makes the entire movie even more disturbing when you look back and realize where Longlegs has been the whole time throughout his little serial killing career. It makes the movie even more disturbing because of like what he was doing when we weren't seeing him. But it is literally just Silence of the Lambs. Like, it's literally like the ending of Silence of the Lambs, just very, just packaged differently. And like the whole movie, even Nicolas Cage's design is like very reminiscent of Buffalo Bill, like to like a very, very like way too much of a, like, even the performance is Buffalo Bill like it's like just it was too similar, like to the point where it didn't really feel like inspiration. It really did feel like kind of a little bit of a ripoff. Yes, there is. I don't think this is a spoiler. I think this has just been in the trailers. Like it does incorporate supernatural elements. So it is a grounded movie, and I think they incorporate that really well, because I was scared going in. I was like, and I'm not gonna spoil whether it does or doesn't, but like I was really concerned on how they were gonna handle the supernatural elements, and especially in one regard. But no, I think the supernatural elements were very well set up, and I think the way that it didn't go balls to the wall crazy with the supernatural. Like everything is still grounded except for like one or two little things, and it was just perfectly executed. But yeah, the big problem was just the fucking pacing. Like the movie takes a while to start, and mind you, it's a very short movie. Like without credits, it's like an hour and 30 minutes. Like the pacing was just way slower than it needed to be, and then all of a sudden it would be super fast and then just rush through important information and then get super slow again, and I'm like, whoa. Like I was like it was just kind of jarring, where it's like, okay, I'm trying to follow along on the investigation aspect, but nothing's happening, and then all of a sudden everything's happening at once, and it's kind of just it doesn't make sense in the moment, and then they kind of catch you up later, and then you're like, oh, that makes sense. But like, why didn't you just, instead of taking so long just lingering on these shots, why didn't you just and feeling like you need to rush through the expedition and all that, or oh my god, exposition, not expedition, with the exposition and all that? Why not just take the runtime you have to really flesh out the plot and not have to explain things 2 or 3 times, because you're just kind of rushing through things? And it kind of just got to the point where like it felt like the movie was trying, like it didn't have enough script and they were padding up the runtime with with the shots, because this movie could have been like 15-20 minutes shorter, or honestly it could have been the same length, and they just rearranged how long the exposition dumps were. And obviously, do it right. Don't just be like, well, this is what happened, blah, 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 blah. But there is a big twist in the movie that I found very effective, and like I said, it just makes the whole movie way like it makes rewatching the movie really disturbing with the context of the twist at the end. And yeah, the Longlegs was, I mean, him himself, like Nicolas Cage's like look, it was disturbing, but it was also still kind of underwhelming, because I kind of thought it would be more creepy. But I mean, don't get me wrong, if I saw that motherfucker out on the street, I'd be like,
you'd be freaked out too. I know.
But yeah,
I think we would all be freaked out.
Like, so
that was Longlegs.
That's my review of Longlegs. Good movie.
Oh,
I think Kevin just go home.
I think Kevin just got home along with the police.
Why is he naked?
Is he a rat? Is he working for them? Dude, Christian, we gotta get out of here. There, he's looking for us now. He might be looking for us. Guys, my name is Neco, aka Prince Productions.
My name is Charles Xavier, also known as the APS Entertainment, and one day the entertainment will be gone.
Oh, hell no. Kevin's showing us his asshole. Fuck. Oh, Christian, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Do it. Oh, my God. Oh, no. Oh, he's getting closer. Oh, he's getting closer. Okay. Thank you for listening. We will see you guys next week.
See you.